read Binding 13 and this is my spoiler-free review. When it comes to books and writing, you will often hear the phrase, show, don't tell. And I firmly believe that is not always true. But with this book, personally I think that when it comes to the characters, you should always show what they're like through their actions and thoughts and way of speaking. And if it's necessary to tell something about them, don't do it right away. Do it in a context that makes sense. Like in this case, from the very beginning of the book, it could be that Shannon prefers to sit in the back of the class because she fears that somebody will cut off her hair from behind. That's not really a spoiler because you're told that almost at the beginning. But just all of the trauma you're given in the beginning would just make a much more sense and would fit better into the story if you're given it as a way of explaining her actions as the actions happen. And this was just my thought from the first 20 pages of the book. There is a lot of cute moments, and not only between the two main characters, but also between the main characters and their friends. I also like it when authors don't mind embarrassing their characters. That is something I'm personally working on, because that can be pretty hard. But in general, I find that the reader is just given too much. One example, which is not a spoiler, is when Johnny thinks about his dogs, and this whole sequence about these dogs ends up with him thinking, I'm a dog lover. Like, yeah, no shit. We kind of got that from the half a page dedicated to these dogs. And these kind of instances just happens a lot, which yes, makes it kind of a no-brainer to read, but also makes some sequences unnecessarily long. And it just annoys me when everything is punched through so much, like we get it at this point. But this is not me saying that it's necessarily badly written. It's all a matter of writing style and preferences, and what you like will also be dependent on how you read and what you read for. I think this style of writing would be great if you read fast, because you wouldn't miss anything if you read too fast past a few sentences. I also found that I enjoyed the book more when I upped my reading pace. It also works if you want something that is easily read. And that is not to be misunderstood as the subjects of this book being easy to read. I'm only talking about the writing style. Also, if you're somebody that has a hard time to picturing things in your head as you read, there was this line that stood out to me that goes something like, she leaned on my shoulder, emphasizing how small I was. Scratch that last part. Most people, when given the first part of the sentence, will imagine somebody doing something like this and not something like this. But maybe if you don't get the pictures in your head as easily, it can be helpful. There was some good sequences and emotional ones too. Overall, I do like the concept of the story and the subjects it revolves around, and in large